Yeah, like you said, everybody in the top four has played at some point on the big stage, whether it's the London lads playing for England or us and Leyland as they were last year, Wigan this year. Halifax have been there before and done it countless times with and without cameras there. They've been the team to beat for years, and then when we finally got the chance, we took it. And then obviously last year, biggest year of all up until this year. So we're just hoping we can continue from where we left off in Challenge Cup and pick back up on the front of, we've got cameras, we know how to perform in front of them because we've been in front of them many a times before. Whether, I think in big international fixtures, I'm the only one that's not played, because there's Jody who's played England and Wales, and then all the other lads have played for England against France and World Cups and all that. So my only experience of the cameras is Challenge Cup Grand Final sort of thing. But it was nice to get it over and done with, so I'm not as nervous this year going into it. But there is still the nerves there, but no matter who shows up, you can guarantee it's going to be a good game and they're going to perform.
Well, Ewan, a big thank you for joining us. And before we get to this weekend's grand final, the game itself, just a big congratulations on getting to another final. I mean, how's the season gone for the Rhinos?
It's been a pretty good season so far. We've lost a couple against Halifax earlier on in the year. First game at their place, we ended up with 2 injuries, me being one of them, and we kind of just had to forfeit the game there and then. Second game against them were Magic Weekend, and it were a very close game. I think it went down to last second, and we just won it with a last second kick chase back to see out the game. And then third time round was a home game, and they ran away with it. We just weren't on form there, and they were outstanding. But apart from that, we've had a really good season. Comfortable in Challenge Cup tournament, and then final was a graft against Catalans. They give us a very good game, but we expected nothing different from them because they have always been looked at as the best team in the world. And yeah, we're just looking forward to the grand final this weekend now.
We know the quality of Halifax Panthers, and you know the past success that they've had, but the experience in the Leeds Rhinos camp as well. We've kind of touched upon it, but the silverware, you know, winning the plate, winning the Challenge Cup this season, this great success last year. The trick is, I suppose, keeping that going now, not taking your eye off the ball, literally.
Yeah, it's been as goal since end of last season, and when we got into pre-season, it's been right. We did the treble last year. We need to do it again this year, show that it wasn't a fluke. And that has been like the big aim of the year. When we lost the couple of games, and when we drew against Wigan away, we were there like, oh, this season's different. It's going to be harder. It's going to be longer. So obviously we started all 6 teams, and then we split into top 4 and middle 5, which extended the season. And it's just been a slog of a year for everybody involved, no matter who you play for. And the travelling, especially for London Roosters, has been brutal because they've had away games every other week. But looking at us as a team, we're going into it hoping that nothing sneaks up on us and expecting to be as strong as we can be on the day, with no niggles or like anything carried into it from the London semi-final a couple of weeks ago. But I don't see us not performing on the big stage, because that's where we strive to be, and that's where we have managed to get to again.
And how much do you enjoy the big stage as well, Ewan? Because obviously last year's performance for yourself was pretty good, to say the least. You've been scoring tries this season as well. I mean, how are you enjoying things, and how do you enjoy these big occasions?
I get quite nervous before them, to be fair. It's one of them things that you sit there and watch it on TV and go, "Oh, I wonder how they're feeling." But then when you get there, it's completely different. You get butterflies half hour before you go out to warm up, and then when you're warming up and you like turn in on the pitch and you see a camera following you, it's like, "Oh, I might be on TV. Let's not drop the next pass that comes to me, even though it's a warm up sort of thing." Um, and then once you come out and the music hits and the announcer's there doing all of his spiel and everything like that, I just zone out. It's basically like a wall goes up around the pitch, and anything that's outside of that wall is irrelevant and doesn't matter for the next 40 minutes, 80 minutes, however long it lasts. If it magically ends up in a draw and goes to golden point, then the walls stay up until that point has been scored, sort of thing. So it's a tricky one because there's going to be family and friends there, and you want to make sure that they know that you've acknowledged them, sort of thing. But at the same time, it's biggest game of the season. You can't let anything distract you.
This goes back to the development of Super League more generally, and how the wheelchair version of the game's just grown and developed. Certainly heading into COVID, and then springing out of COVID the way it has. Both teams, it appears, and we could throw in Wigan and London into this as well. It's filled with players who can handle the big occasions, and that's only good for the sport, isn't it? And I'm sure the next generation of players coming up can learn, from teams like yourselves in Halifax.
Yeah, like you said, everybody in the top four has played at some point on the big stage, whether it's the London lads playing for England or us and Leyland as they were last year, Wigan this year. Halifax have been there before and done it countless times with and without cameras there. They've been the team to beat for years, and then when we finally got the chance, we took it. And then obviously last year, biggest year of all up until this year. So we're just hoping we can continue from where we left off in Challenge Cup and pick back up on the front of, we've got cameras, we know how to perform in front of them because we've been in front of them many a times before. Whether I think in big international fixtures, I'm the only one that's not played, because there's Jody who's played England and Wales, and then all the other lads have played for England against France and World Cups and all that. So my only experience of the cameras is Challenge Cup grand final sort of thing. But it was nice to get it over and done with, so I'm not as nervous this year going into it. But there is still the nerves there. But no matter who shows up, you can guarantee it's going to be a good game and they're going to perform.
Yeah, absolutely. Get yourself over to Manchester this weekend for this final. And just a closing thought, really, Ewan, just about this game. Obviously, I've seen both Twitter feeds, and that it's there, isn't it? Halifax win one year, Leeds win one year. Halifax, Leeds, Halifax want what they think is their trophy back. You want to keep the trophy that you've got now. So I mean, it's all to play for this weekend. How much are you looking forward to this weekend finally, Ewan?
I can't wait. I want today to be Saturday already. We're training tonight, and I just want training to be the game. I hate waiting around for games, so it's a case of distraction for me, so I don't get too excited too soon. Otherwise, I'll be burnt out by Saturday. But hopefully, when it gets there, we live up to the hype, and we can put on a show for everybody that turns up and turns the TVs on to watch us.
Well, Ewan, a big thank you for joining us. Big good luck this weekend to you and your teammates at the Leeds Rhinos, and we'll catch up very soon.
Thank you very much.